And this is how the story ends. Good evening all, welcome back. This is Logistical Nightmare Racing. These boys are on their current practice session, hitting it on the streets, looking at our championship leader, throwing it in and out of the corners there. Again, big ups everyone, welcome to what do we call our final race for the GT3 season. Again, first season of LNR in 2022. Big ups to Tintin there, Kaylin, JJ, Anthony, and whoever is on the move in our chat box. Again, welcome boys, and if there is any girls, great to see you all. Currently just spotting the gentleman on track in the practice session, trying to figure out what is gonna happen this evening, because again we are at Monza, round 6, and to be fair, from a weather condition, anything's gonna happen this evening. I don't know whether we're gonna have full sunny weather,
green light, go, go, go.
rainy conditions, or vice versa, as we instantaneously kick off our qualifying session. Boys thrown a bit off the radar there because we have some cloud there. Track at this moment is fast, 24 degrees with about a 5-kilometer wind session. So again, I don't think anyone has expected this to evolve as to where we are. Again, I am holding massive thumbs here at this stage, hoping that we're going to get a great variable of both dry and wet race at Monza. Now, I know that is a daunting task to ask, because at the end of the day, who wants a Monza race in any wet conditions? I mean, that in itself has got to be frantically difficult. So, who else is on there? Prince Louis, Sean, welcome to the stream. It's Redders, welcome man. Anthony keeping the boys well entertained there on the chat session. So as we kick it off in the qualifying time frame, these guys are on their outlap, currently looking at Holzhausen, who in all fairness has had a fantastic season with us. Probably not up there in the top 5 for the championship this season, but nonetheless he has been giving it beans from the word go, and it's actually good to check it out where it's currently standing. So I think because it's a final race, I'm going to try and share as much information as I can on where the participants and standings is. So Holzhausen at this moment, now I gotta find him, is currently 16th on our championship. He is trying to hunt down Jacques Vermeulen, who is in 14th, who's also tied up with Sean Stradom in 14th. So again, a lot to gain for this man this evening. He can probably hop a couple of spots up the leaderboard there. Not going to win the season overall, but at least he's going to get some good rewards. The people I'm looking at this moment is the guy sitting in 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 1st championship point wise. And these are the guys like Mr. R. Mooney here that came out of nowhere with his V12 Aston Martin, currently in 2nd position from a championship standing point of view. However, he is being heavily hunted down by Neil Greening, who's not far off the plate from him. And then of course Niall Bullion from Scotland, the better half or the younger half of the Scottish duo, chasing down Niall. And then of course we have Paul Fenter. So I reckon it's got all to go with what happens this evening between Raymond, Neil, Niall and Paul. And as much as I would say that maybe they can bring it to the plate and give the championship leader, which is Ryan Barrington Smith, sitting in the garage with his Porsche, probably not feeling very comfortable as it is, because I don't think the Porsche is that dominating on a track like this, but seems to be like he is muchos grachos comfortable not taking the track, putting a lap down, and can probably win the championship from coming into last position. So he has dominated the series, doing 5 runs within 5 races, taking 3 victories, and I do recall that some of them were back to back. So 3 victories from him this season out of 5 races. So you can probably sit back and relax a bit, because he's got a good buffer between him and 2nd place. So it's all up for grabs between who's going to take the final podiums this evening in our championship race. I don't know who you guys have got your money on, but I reckon it's going to be a epic race. And in all fairness, I mean, Neil Greening with his Aston Martin has been phenomenally dominating during the course of this championship. Probably hasn't won anything, but as stable and as rock solid as can be. So let's look at the times in the Delta. Boys have been putting it on the pace. Doesn't surprise me that Raymond Mooney puts it up there with his Aston Martin V12, a solid 1:48.8 as a qualifying lap time, and he's currently up on his Delta again by about half a second, coming down the 2nd final straight into the corner. If he keeps it up, he might just break that 1:48.8 with about a low 1:48 as a qualifying session. Loses a bit of time coming out of the exit. Still beats his best. Great time there by him, with a 1:48.6, as you can all see. And again, another guy on the move at the present moment is B. Holzhausen. Just spoke about him. He's putting it on the playing field, currently in 6th place. So this is probably one of those best qualifying sessions for him. BMW cars looking phenomenally dominating as we speak. I mean, Jacques Vermeulen in his BMW just did one of his personal best, currently in 3rd place with a 1:49.6. Skitty in the Lexus as we know it. The man representing the beautiful RTA livery over there. Smashing it out of the park with his 148.9. Similar to what Raymond Mooney did previously. He's got a couple of things to make up. Doesn't look like he's there at the moment. So a lot of work to do for him. The boys on the track here, it's listen up. Rookies, who's the rookie? Rookie Dupree. Let's go have a look at the man. Seeing that we're talking about Dupree, there we go. Living a dream, Tintin Cube. Ooh, going very wide there, coming into Degna 1. That's in the Kitteliter back into the pits. Probably not feeling the car at this moment. Let's go on board with Wilson Robson. Yeah, Wilson has had a good season so far. Gotta find him on where he sits. Wilfred Robson. Also in the Lexus, the second Lexus on the championship, 13th position. Now he is chasing down Cameron Drake at the moment, who's won last week the last GT3 race. I believe it was Zolder, Zandvoort, Zolder is in my head, and that was a phenomenal race. So big battles here tonight. 2 minutes on the clock. Let's go smash around and see who is actually on the move. Patterson in the pits, Wasabi in the pits, Dupree in the pits, Smith in the pits. Quite a few boys haven't done any laps at this moment. David Young, Barrington Smith, Pullen. So they're all opting to start at the back, hoping for a catastrophic start at the beginning of the race because it is Monza. Never have we ever seen a clean race start. I am yet to be proven wrong, and I think I've been proven wrong on numerous occasions this whole season. All these boys on track are phenomenal, respectful to one another, and they race extraordinarily well. So really hoping to see where this ends off. Let's see. Boyser, my favorite McLaren man, has had a good season. Couple of incidents that didn't go his way throughout the season. Ooh, as he speds off there in the distance. Paul Venter with a Bentley over here. And again, I still believe that's a very old Bentley. I still reckon that's a 2018 Bentley, but I could be proven wrong completely. So, everyone knows T1 turn 1. Alright, so JJ McClure, he is vouching for Alan. Yeah, Alan looking good. Where is Alan? I haven't seen him though. I know he's in the pits though. I did see the man in the pits not so long ago. Yep, he is sitting comfortably there, not going to do much. Raymond Mooney is trying to improve on his time. Gonna keep a close eye out for him. Kel van der Berg, however, in the BMW, currently in 18th position, trying to make up for grounds. He is slightly up, lost a bit of time there coming out of Degna 2. Needs to work hard in order to put it straight. Again, Ascari is where it is. You either make it or break it. Paul Venter, on the other hand, has made a massive improvement there. This is 7/10 up as he comes out of the final corner. Where will this place him? 7th position. What a jump. Phenomenal drive there by him. Jacques Vermeulen, on the other hand, also on the move. He's about 3/10 up coming into the final corner. Carl van der Berg. This is the man up 7/10. This is definitely going to be an improvement for him. Couple of spots up for grabs as he head towards the finish line. It's off to 15th place. So the only individuals, Raymond Mooney. Big ups there, 6/10 up. This is a low 148. That is it, 148, won by Raymond Mooney. What a qualifying session. He is 9 tenths quicker than the field. And then, of course, the people I haven't spoken about is Drake there in second place. Let's see if we can find the times up for grabs. Timetable qualifying. So this is where it is. And all of everyone all. Raymond Mooney tops the log with his AMR V12. Then followed by Drake, Skitter, Clow, Vermeulen, Bullion, Fenter, Patterson then 8th, Holzhausen in 9th, and then Boyce rounding it up in the top 10. And again, I reckon this is just going to be epic from a racing point of view. Still no rain as it is. Track is green. Again, to what I understood and what everyone has told me throughout the week is that the server was wet in all occasions. Now, I don't know how true that was and how true that remained, but from my understanding, the expectation is a wet race. Where we standing at this moment is a dry practice, dry qualifying, and it seems like a dry race start. And it also looks like it's going to remain dry for the next 30 minutes. So I'm being hopeful that we will see rain. I'm being very hopeful. Tintin hoping gonna rain midway. I don't know. I don't know. What I am happy to see, however, is that there is wind. There is wind, a good amount of wind. If that is enough, I do not know. Is there anything we can do about it? Not so certain. Okay, so this is where it starts. This is how it starts. This is where the fun begins. The warm-up lap. The nerves sets in. The shakes getting in there. People wondering whether we should go full dry setup. Should we go half hybrid, which is a semi-wet, semi-dry setup? Should we go full wet and hope it does rain? I reckon if I was in this position, I would have probably settled for a full dry setup and hold and hope that we just do not get any rain. That was me. That would have been me. I don't know. What is everyone's take on the stream here? I mean, the variation of the race setting is quite extreme. The rain factor is set to fairly extreme. And if I say extreme, I'm going like, if we go from 0 to 1, it's sitting at 0.5. The cloud conditions is sitting at 0.5. The server variability is sitting at 0.4. So you can kind of gain and grasp at how much of a variable we've actually put in place. So I'm really hoping we've hit the nail on the dot and be in a position to give that lovely variable Monza race. Everyone on stream going, yes, practice server was wet, always wet. Hilton reckons hybrid setup is the safest. Clinton reckons he would have gone cautious. I kind of reckon anything is possible. I think the biggest challenge we have is how does one deal with it, kind of is where it sits. Okay, so this is me getting all my fabulous liquids right next to me in close proximity, looking at the grid as they warm up from the back again. Ryan Beddington Smith there in his pause, didn't set a qualifying lap, didn't feel the need to do it, so he's going to push it all the way from the back. I think he wants to do a proper challenge race with them. Two Porsches there at the back between himself, and that is D. Bullen, also in the Porsche. So this is going to be quite eventful. Raymond Mooney, the man to keep an eye on, and he is being chased down by the individuals behind him. Again, it depends on where it ends. Neil Greening, third in the championship, currently in 11th place. He's got a lot of work to do for him because everyone that is chasing him is ahead of him, and that is Mr. Bullion, Mr. Fenter, and then of course Mooney. So, T1 challenge. Final corner. Warm-up lap. Let's get ready to race. All waiting for the infamous green light.
Green light. Give it all you got.
And it's a go, go, go. Race is on. Raymond Mooney gets a good start. He's being chased down by Drake. Doesn't look like Drake is covering his defensive line. Right behind him is, I think, Alan Patterson, Sean Skitter. So big ups to these boys. Let's see if we can get a helicam here. Yes, looks good so far. Oh, few incidents there. There we go. As we have spoken, some guys went straight into the mix. Other guys did not go into the mix, but I can certainly tell you that the top 5 guys seem to have gotten clear away from the guys ahead of them. And this is where the battle begins. So, slight incidents there. We did all note it. We kind of predicted it. We nearly... It's inevitable. That's where I'm going with. It is inevitable. Okay, so let's see. Everything needs to filter down nicely. Kind of want to figure out where we are as Raymond Mooney is being chased down by the Merc. So the question stands, is that Aston Martin, is that tires warmed up? It is very slippery here. Again, track is green conditions, not fast. So don't expect the quickest laps by these individuals from the moment. Drake is chasing down Raymond Mooney. And then, of course, we have mid-back balance battles here between Skitter. He's being chased down by Vermeulen, who's then being chased down by... Who's that? Alan Patterson? Alan's there in the mix, but it looks like Clo from BWSR. Great start from him. I think it's kind of the first time I've seen this man ahead of Alan Patterson. So Alan Patterson's got a bit of work to do for him. Didn't have an awful start though. He is still 9th place. But Clo in the PWSR works is sitting comfortably behind these guys. Jacques Vermeulen is making a move on the outside. No, tucks back in. Reckons it's not the time to do it. Probably a very clever decision considering that Lexus has got good legs down the straight. So this is going to be a battle of straight line speed at Monza. Any else where do we see battles? Do we reckon? No. Skitty goes a bit defensive, takes his racing line position. Feels no threat there by Jacques Vermeulen. And again, this looks like a very good race for Jacques. He hasn't had the best of lucks over the last couple of races. Qualified phenomenally well. Looks very strong in that BMW. Not a car he is used to. And then, of course, at the back of the pack, we've got a big battle here between Holzhausen, Alan Patterson, and then, of course, Greening there, who's made a couple of positions up, currently in 9th. I think he started out of the top 10, made a few positions by that incident that occurred. People on the chat reckon Berries is playing a patient game. Pullen is in the pits. Berries has made up a lot of positions from what I can look at. See if I can find where the battles are. Ooh, someone went very wide. That looks like one additional position made up by Berries. Comfortable pass. Excuse me, slid away from that. So, Porsche's made quite a bit of a gap. Hard anchor here, trying to make a move on Bullion. Got a bit too deep and a bit too late on the brake line. That's Lee Bullion making a mess out of the corner exit. Opens the space for the Ferrari, but that puts the Porsche right on top of that Ferrari. Has he got enough straight line speed to take him into corner one? Berries has a look, slight peek, makes a move, puts his nose in there. No, backs away. Very, very great decision there. I mean, cautious, this is a long race. Track is still green, rain has not appeared at this moment. I can still see more and more cloud evolving all over the place. Patterson and Greening, big battles here in the front and mid-pack side. Raymond Moody is slowly getting away from the pack, as you can see over there. So he's got a massive gap between himself and Drake. And of course, Skitty is trying to catch up there. So let's look at it from a back point scenario. Q Smith there, very lost though. I'm not 100% sure what has happened there, but this man is now being chased down by the leader there. So not a great start for Q Smith. I am fairly certain this is not where he is supposed to be. Sun has moved away. Dupria in the Bentley being challenged here. Big battles on. He's got a Ferrari behind him and of course a Merc. Doesn't seem to be that phased in pressure. Oh, dips it out. Massive accident there. Collision between himself and Wasabi. That was so unfortunate. The Bentley just got very tail happy and that Ferrari just had nowhere to go but straight into him. Just had no means of stopping that from occurring. That, however, has opened up the gap there for Dave Young to take that position back. Big unfortunate one there for Wasabi, which I would probably guess is going to go into the pits with that head-on collision. I don't know what is Dupria going to do. Somehow seems to be staying out, so it doesn't look like that accident was that severe. He's probably going to figure out over the next lap or two whether he needs to go back in the pits, get his car repaired. We'll see if he can hold out for the next 13 minutes and then get it in there, because it's all about that pit stop time frame window. That's what you're aiming for. That's kind of what you need. The pit window has not yet opened. Nonetheless, still battles here between Lee. This is a father of Neil Bullion, who is currently in 5th position. He and Wilfred Robson is being quite respectful driving over there, but they're battling it out as they go along. Wilfred looking to see if he can gain more positions. I know Lee had a big incident coming out of the final corner of Monza, so he's got a lot of work to do for him. More accidents as we speak. Oh, Bentley on the side of the road. That is Paul Fenter pretty much out of it. He is losing positions as we speak. Not a great start for that man. Again, it's all about who can keep it on track, and I don't think it's going to be that easy. The track, however, is fast though. Penalties being dished out now by the steward. Curious to see what is this all about. And I see a quick peek there. So that would be car 56. Car 56. Ferrari M. Mayer slight touch to car 58. Did not result in a spin. Again, that is probably just a slight touch contact between him and another car ahead of it. Gets a 5-second penalty. That probably did occur on lap 1. Again, any incidents reviewed will get the racing penalties. I cannot go back that far. But he is the first one to be dished out. That is Barrington Smith making up more positions as we speak. Just made the move on Mitraille. And right behind him he's got Kel van der Berg. So big battles here in between the top. Yeah, 12th, 13th and 14th. Ooh, 11, 12 and 13th. Dave there in the background. Plenty to do for him. Ferraris doesn't seem very happy with this track. Kind of unusual that the Ferraris are not that good on this track, because again, it is one of those Italian tracks that everyone loves. But a Ferrari win would do it right here. There is definitely reeling in to the top 10, chasing down the Hardaker. Back to the front of the grid. This is where we have Jacques Vermeulen. Ooh, there's someone I'm missing at this moment. What happened to Skitty? What happened to Skitty? Skitter all the way down to 9th place. He was in top 5, currently now being chased down by a Ferrari. And then of course he's got my favorite McLaren man there, Mr. Boyser, right behind him. The Boyser did not have the best of starts, neither did Pullen. Lots of work for these guys to do. Skitter dropped down significantly from where he started. That does change everything ahead of him. Plenty of work for these boys to do. Ferrari versus BMW. I kind of saw a bit of flashing there by the BMW, purely out of frustration, or just one of those events where he says, I'm gonna get by, I want to get by. Ooh, what has happened there? Berries in a mix of accident along with Skitter. Again, Skitter went to the barriers, Berries went to the barriers. It's like one of those things. Monza is just not kind to anyone this evening. Like all kinds of accidents all over the place. Let's see if I can grab that. Let's go back. See if we can capture that from what has occurred there by Beres. He comes out of Degna 2, comes out of Degna 2. Ooh, spins a bit, knocks it over. Yeah. Oh, that was one of those incidents where he was trying to avoid a collision, knowing that there was someone off the track, and then thus went into the kitty litter, didn't control the car, and then went splurting into the barriers. Absolutely unfortunate. Dave Young there getting a 5-second penalty as well. Let's see if we can figure out what he did. Currently, Dave Young made contact with car 89, causing 89 to leave the track. Again, one of those incidents. Made contact with car 89. 89 is Dupria. Curious to see how that went down. But that is what it is. Live stewarding at Logistical Nightmares. Again, welcome everyone on the stream. Vocal this evening, I can see by far, is JJ, Tintin, Hilton, Simracing. Again, thanks for you boys for watching and supporting. Loving the fact that you guys are having some couple of chats here. So boys are there having a talk. Nell is always as strong as what I'm getting. Berries was close to top 10 is what I'm seeing. Yeah, unfortunate incident there for him trying to avoid another car. Monza does look so easy on the track map, but drive it and all hell breaks loose. I think I'm gonna use that, Tintin, as the quote of the day. It looks beautiful from far, but dis mooi van ver, maar ver van mooi af is what I'm going with. Again, yes, Kayla there, hope the boys are having fun. I'm fairly sure those that did some preparations are really not enjoying this. I mean, Paul Fenter at the current stage is sitting way back at the credit 20th position. Definitely not where he wanted to start off with or ended up with. So he's got a lot of work for him. This is going to have a massive negative effect on his championship, trying to battle it there in the front. Solid as a rock is, of course, Neil Greening there, who is currently trying to chase down Holzhausen. And again, I think this is one of Holzhausen's best races so far. The man is on point this evening. So, looking at where I would put probably my bets on, and again, I normally love doing this, favorite driver of the day or notable driver of the evening is currently what I love to do. I think my bet today is going to be Holzhausen. Really because I can't remember that he's ever been this good, and I could be completely wrong and he was there, but I can honestly tell you this man is driving a good race. Now I did see a BMW there off the track, and that was Chloe from PWSR, went into the kitty litter there by Ascari. Oh, that definitely did not do him any justice. He has fallen all the way back. Now he was in good position in top 5. Now he's no longer there. He's currently being chased down by Hardacre in the Ferrari. So not 100% sure what has happened there, but we can probably look at where the situation occurred. Cloud coming down. All looks fairly well. Did he lose it into Ascari? Oh yes, he did. Ooh. Definitely lost it going into the Ascari. Probably baked a bit too late over there and went all the way kitty litter. Again, now he's got a lot of work for him. Between him and Alan Patterson, the two PWSR boys running here at Logistical Nightmares, loving their support again. Some racers by heart, great oaks. Lovely, sexy liveries though. Yeah, back into the race. Still big battles here in the front and the back, so BMW versus BMW. Nail Bullion there looking on the inside. Not really. Jacques Vermeulen went defensive, covered it properly. It's all about who can get the better exit here in Ascari. They both seem to do it quite well. Nail Bullion looks to be the faster guy. Vermeulen there is very defensive. Not realistically though, that doesn't look defensive. He's probably very comfortable at this stage. Not thinking that Nail is going to make a move on him. But again, if Nail tucks it in nicely behind him coming into the start-finish line, will he have enough speed then with the slipstream to potentially make a move? Doesn't look like it. Both BMWs phenomenally quick down the straight line. Nail peaking there on the inside line, but then, no, decides to tuck in. So this battle seems to be very good over the next few moments or so. Top 10 Ferrari, the only Ferrari in the top 10 at this moment, chasing down a BMW. Again, that is Clau. Got a lot of work to do for him. I'm going to try and get into the mix here, because it seems like here, just after 10th place, there is plenty of battles going on here. Of course, we got Skutter there. Then we have, I don't know who that BMW is, Car 101. It seems to be Kel van der Berg there, so a four-way battle going on at the moment between Skutter, van der Berg, Dave Young, and then of course Ryan Berrington-Smith. And this is realistically only to be in the top 10 at this moment. And it's wild. Left, right cover, side by side action. Everyone trying to pounce on the opportunity to get past, but between the BMW and Kale, doesn't look like much is being no, in all fair, it's love and war. Coming out of Tegna too. Now this is where Skitty doesn't feel personal, but you can see instantaneously Perry's making a move there on Dave Young. Made it look very easy, as it seemed like Dave Young just moved out of the way. Probably mentally knowing that the Porsche is potentially quicker than him. Didn't want to really challenge him and lose traction on the two guys ahead of him, which is it's one of those things. Do you battle the guys in front of you who are battling at this moment, or do you step away a little bit, give a bit of a breather, and then reassess the situation and go forward again? But having done so has created another gap between those guys as Skitter goes excessively wide coming out of the final corner. Does that BMW have enough straight line speed? Skitter going instantaneously defensive, wants to break the toe. Lovely battle here by these boys. Lexus versus BM. Somehow that BMW looks to be masterclass quick down the straight line. Skitter doing everything he can to keep that BM behind. Sun is coming out. Ooh, sun is coming out. Ah, never have I ever. Of course, this will be one of those races again whereby I would want rain, and rain doesn't happen. Kind of giving up on the scenarios of ever having a rain race. This just doesn't work for me. Just doesn't work for me. Okay, back to the racing. These boys are on it again. Skitty trying to break the tail of the BMW there from Van der Berg. Van der Berg fighting it through, looking for ways to make the move. Skitty being awfully defensive there. They go side by side down the straight. Skitty instantaneously takes the right hand side, inside line for him. Oh, this is where it's gonna count. I'm thinking if I can get some wing action here. Oh, bit sketchy there by Van der Berg. He would have wanted very close there, but this is not going to help him. Again, Skitty breaking the stream or straight line stream. Oh, I get too excited. Way too excited. But now it's Kale. He now has a Porsche right behind him, so good battles between these three, and trying to fight for a top 10, which is evidently the place everyone wants to be. Boys in the front are running away in all fairness. Raymond Mooney, I haven't even talked about him since the start of the race, currently sitting so comfortably in his first place position, moving away from everyone in the field. 10 seconds delta between himself and Drake. I think I'm going to give you guys a bit of a view pass of listening to this Aston Martin V12. Man, that sounds beautiful. I'm sorry to say that, but that is such a beautiful sound. I don't care what anyone says. A V12 engine to me is still the best sounding engine. So, big ups there to Mooney. He is doing phenomenally well. Only he can kill his own race as it stands at this moment. He is gapping everyone at least by 2 seconds a lap. So, He is running hard. Big battles here again in the field. BWSR Cloud versus Hard Anchor in the Ferrari. BWSR rear wing there coming into Regna 2. Looking so comfortable there, and again Cloud was there in the top 5 now, so he's got a lot to make up though. Keeping that Ferrari behind him, which is evidently a good battle between these two individuals, has been going on for quite some time though. On the other hand, this battle still continues here for 10th, 11th and 12th place. We still got Sketty, Van der Berg and Barrington making as much moves as they can. And of course, we have a Paul Fenter slash Dave Young battle here. Side by side action, Bentley versus Merck. Paul going very defensive, comes across the line. Again, to my knowledge, Dave has pitted already, so he's got a bit of time to make up. Realized that it's probably not going to rain based on the fantastic track conditions we have at this moment. Just no rain. Oh, saddens me, absolutely saddens me. He can make up a lot of positions going into the pits. More individuals going in the pits. Alan Patterson in there, Boyce back in the pits. No one else has really made that move other than those 3 individuals at this moment. Hugh Smith still running there in 20th position. I mean, he did not have the best of starts this evening. Again, I assume that's the case at the present moment. Tintin going like and subscribe. Yeah, like and subscribe. That's if you want to sit and listen to my voice though. So yeah, Hugh Smith, normally the man that's up there in the field, has not had the best of ventures this evening. I think from a championship point of view, Hugh Smith, in all fairness, let me just go see where he is on our reigning championship standings. I've got to find him there. No. For the Smith man, Yeah, Smith man, Quinton Smith, currently in 9th position overall champion. Again, one of the fastest drivers from our overseas counterpart. Again, Amsterdam boys, the Netherlands boys. Gotta give them big ups to them. The last time I spoke about these guys racing at Logistical Nightmares, I kind of insulted them, indicating that their flags on the car was French. However, it's not. It's the pronounced Dutch flag. I should have done it because I'm a big Dutch football / soccer supporter, and I have no idea how I got that wrong. But he has not had a great race. Overall, his championship is currently a 9th. It's going to put a bit of a damper on his race finishing this season. But lovely to see him race that well throughout the whole season. Going back to the front end side, you boys want to see good action? Let's go find some. Again, everyone has sort of split it out quite a bit, with the exception of this BMW versus the Ferrari. And it just doesn't seem like there's any leeway by Cloud there. Coming through his car, he's very cautious. Ooh, Paul Fenter there on the sideline. He is not having the best of lucks this evening in the Bentley. Again, 2nd outage for him coming out of his car there. Still looking at the Ferrari. He was a lot closer than what I thought he would be. Oh, that looks so quick from a Ferrari. And again, another great sounding car. It's just something unique about a Ferrari sound that just sounds so beautiful. V12 Aston Martin, the sounds of a Ferrari, and then of course some individuals would say the car sound of a Porsche. I think those are my potential top three: V12, Ferrari, and then Porsche. Beautiful car sounds. Paul Venter definitely likes the wall this evening, not having the best of races. He's currently in the pits now again, getting that all fixed up. From everyone on the stream, let me know, man. What's your favorite car sound? And again, I'm only talking GT3s. I'm not going to talk vintage and all those things because again, I go vintage talks and all those things. Besides GT3, phew, my list just grows like phenomenally. But let's just focus on the GT3 side of it, I think. Just to keep the list as narrow as we can is where I'm with. Okay, top guy, Raymond Mooney in the pits. He is getting his flavor on. That puts Mr. Drake there in the Mercedes, who has won a race this season at Eleanor. I believe last week was his first race that he won, which is a phenomenal drive from him. To admit, loving the colors on that Merc though. Got like a black with golden orange shine to it, which looks phenomenally beautiful though. Don't know what it is, but there's just an orange black love that I have. So he's currently your leader. He still needs to do his pit stop, do his tire changes, get him coming out of the grid. Raymond Mooney still in the pits as he exits it over there. So by the looks of it, is gonna fall right behind. Oh, that's Desmond Pullen there in the Porsche. Pullen's gonna let him go, let him have what he needs to have, because that is the current leader of the race. Didn't want to impede on his racing there at the moment. Desmond Pullen, a man I haven't realistically talked about for the whole race, didn't do a qualifying session, but subsequently doesn't seem like he had the best of races or race starts. Lots of guys going into the pits. Rainy weather is, I would probably say, off the charts at this moment. The sun is coming out. It's brightening up the day. Not the race start I would have wanted. Oh, I'm realistically gonna go and ask it. Like, just go bluntly. Is there anyone that can tell me how to do a variable race between wet to dry or dry to wet settings in ACC for 1 hour? For 1 hour. If there's anyone out there, just let me know. Like, I would happily sit down and have a talk and discussion with you. Okay, so JJ goes, Merc has a unique sound. Not my favorite, but just unique. I would agree with that. Does have that weird racing sound. Now let's see if we can go pick up on a Merc. Dave Young, and then of course C Drake there has got a Merc. See if we can get that interior and listen to it. Yep, definitely unique. I don't know what it is about that Merc sound, but I'll agree, very unique. There's just something about that gear, downshift gear sound that goes not what I expected kind of vibe. Because I would not have expected that. It's like a low, high torque turbo lag. I don't know how to explain it. Just weird. Okay, everyone running into the pits. Hard get into the pits. Top 3 boys in the pits. That means Getty is going to go for it as well. No, he is still on the outlap again. Current new leader as we speak. I still believe this man needs to go and do a pit stop, but he's going to run it for as long as he possibly can. Everyone else on the other hand has gone into the pits. Drake out there with his Merc. And he's being chased down by Jacques Vermeulen. And again, Jacques seems to be having a fantastic race this evening. Like, he is not that far off Drake there. Managed to create a gap between himself and Neil Bulling. And again, the deficit between these two individuals is about 8 seconds. I mean, they were practically running side by side just before the pit stop. So, not 100% sure what happened in the pits, but Jacques has come out of it being the top dog. Currently, or potentially, I would say, chasing down his first podium by the looks of it. Yeah, that kind of looks like it. So first podium for Jacques Vermeulen at Logistical Nightmare Racing in the GT3 class. Epically, statically happy for him. Again, not a car I'm familiar to see him in, but does look very comfortable in it, I have to add. He's trying to chase down Drake there, so it's about a 3-second delta between these two. Both of them went into the pits fairly late, so a lot of work for him to do. Then of course we have Holtzhausen, who is still, in all fairness, what I would call my driver of the day. Ooh, and just as we saw that, the board markers have been taken out there, so that's going to put a bit of a spin to it. If no one else has a different brake marker coming into the final Degna 2. Again, that's one of my worst enemies, is if someone takes out those boards, because I never ever learned to actually go and get a better brake marker point for Degna 2 at Monza. Sun is shining, optimum race. Now we're gonna see some good lap times by these guys. Everyone has gone for the hardcore strategies of just putting a dry setup on. Is definitely gonna benefit from this race, as opposing to the individuals that has gone and did a hybrid or wet setup. So again, yeah, I'm with you, Tintin. I'm like, I wanted rain, now I have an optimum dry track. Never have I ever. I give up. I honestly give up. I'm fairly sure I'm gonna get scolded. Penalties, more penalties being dished out. Drive-through penalty there for Paul Venter. And of course we've got a 10-second penalty there for Kel from a bat. That's going to put a bit of a twist of where he finishes off. Again, he's got a lovely 12-second delta between him and Dave Young. So if he keeps it up, he can probably hold that position with the penalty. But then again, he's going to be challenged there with these two boys. Skitty comes out of the pit right behind him. So, undercut there from Van der Berg, has managed himself to put a... Oh, lost for words now. So Kel van der Berg went into the pits much earlier, managed to make an undercut on Skitty. Skitty now the guy sitting behind the BMW just before the pit stop. It was the opposite way around. Yet Skitty is going on the inside line, being very aggressive there. Takes the line, takes the position. Kyle could not have done anything other than try to defend it, but it didn't look like he was going to, from his point of view. So Skitter very aggressive out of the pits. His tires must be very warmed up, or he is phenomenally brave. I mean, I don't think he has got the best warmed tires coming out there. So big kahunas is what I would call it from him, taking a man onto the second chicanes at Monza. Beautiful there. Listening in the background, the Porsche, that is Ryan Barrington-Smith, currently in 10th position. I think everyone that has followed the stream from the word go would have probably guessed that this man would have been there in the top 5. Again, a man that went out, did not do a qualifying session, decided to not put a lap down, started at the back of the grid, currently in 10th place, chasing down Mr. Hardacre in his Ferrari, which is about a 14 seconds in delta to make up. So that is going to be a hard task for him to do so, but he is definitely driving the life out of that Porsche. As these two, the battles still continue and remain. It's like they are glued together from the word go.
The pit window is closing now.
Apologies for that short, minute break from myself. I had to go get something to clear the throat, make sure everything is in tune. Skitty, however, is the man on the move, looking like he's putting down phenomenal laps now, because he's creating such a big gap between himself and Kelvin Abad. He is now all of a sudden all over the back of that Porsche. Now this Lexus does have straight line speed. I reckon it's going to be very easy for him to make the move coming down the final straight here. He's going to go wide on the outside. Perry tries to cover it on the inside line, but you can see the difference between those two. That is just phenomenal. That Lexus is quick. Whoa. Boys on the track goes, did Perry's pick up damage again? I'm not 100% sure though. Might have missed that somewhere along the line. Let's see if I can figure out what his times is over the last bit or so. So, looking at his old times and situation, last lap, you might be 100% right there. So good catch there by Tintin Quarantino. Perry definitely did lose a lot though. He finished that lap off with a 1:59, which is 9 seconds above to what he normally would be. So he probably made a mistake somewhere. Therefore suffering some damage, which then helped Skitter gather and collect him down the start-finish line. Unbelievable. The guy, however, on the move at this moment is Clow. So Clow is making up phenomenal time at this moment. He is up like a whole 1 second on that last lap. Probably not his personal best at the moment. Again, oh no, that was Clow's personal best for the race thus far. Again, if I can give you a heads up of quick guys on the track, in all fairness, just for some reference and entertainment value, Raymond Mooney in his Aston AMR, personal best on the track at this stage, and it probably looks like he's going to increase that gap a little bit more, is a 1:48.6 at this stage, which is phenomenally quick. Then we still have Drake here smashing it down in the 1:49.8 is his personal best. looks like he's gonna do a lot better coming down the final straight here. And then of course I've missed something. Jacques Vermeulen, who I did speak about will go for his first podium, is in 12th place. Where did I miss this action? Something very awful had to happen to this man, because he was doing great times as he's doing at this present moment, and he sunk all the way down to 12th position. That is just absolutely unfortunate. No clue what has happened there. And that of course brings Nel Bullion to a potential podium. So currently as it stands, 15 minutes of the race, no rain, to my surprise. Oh dear, no dear. Raymond Moody out-qualified everyone with his brilliant Aston Martin. Then Mr. Drake, currently in second place, winner of the last race, currently in second. Bullion here is in a potential third position. And then of course, I'm gonna have to say it. I mean, Holzhausen in a BMW, I reckon he's got the best race thus far for the season. He's probably going to tell me otherwise after the race, but I reckon this is the best race that he has had. He is what I would call my driver for this evening. Qualified fantastically well. Looks like he's doing a solid race. He is being chased down, however, by Alan Patterson, who I've hardly spoken about throughout the race. And again, by the looks of it, that BMW doesn't seem very happy. Scratches and bends and dents all over the show coming out of Ascari, so a bit of damage here and there. That would damper the pace and the speed of this car, but again, from a position point of view, a solid race there by Alan Patterson, currently in 5th. Neil Greening, on the other hand, is in 6th place, doing phenomenally well, hitting it mark by mark at this moment. Didn't qualify in the top 10, but however has made up the positions and pace from pure simple putting the laps down. I mean, this is what it is. You might not be quick in a qualifying, but if you can put it down lap by lap, race by race, then you will most certainly gain from it. And I think from an example point of view, this man by far, Mr. Greening, has exactly done that. And I think that will potentially secure his third podium spot for the championship at Al-Anar. Final race for the season, round 6. Again, next week will be our final race on the GT4s. Lots of fun and adventures there. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, we're gonna go Alton Park next week, round 6, GT4s. That's gonna be epic fun. And then of course we're going to take a short break for the Easter holidays at Al-Anar, so that everyone can have their fantastic holidays, be well, end well, come back with furious force, because we're going to kick off a season 2 whereby we practically calling it a one-make series for the season, which is going to be epic fun. That race is going to start off on the 26th of April. Round 1, of course, would be Donington in the new M2 car, BMW, followed by Imola the next race, whereby we have the fantastic new Ferrari Evo. Next race will be at Monza with the Lamborghini. Then round 4, we're going to go to Spa with the new Porsche Cup, followed by a Kyalami race, whereby we only allow mid-rear engine cars. So again, a pick of the bunch of the mid-rear engine cars at Kyalami. And then our last race ending it off at the end of May. We're going to have a Bathurst race, Mount Panorama, which is going to be epic fun in that, but that is only going to be a front engine car race. So again, those that do want to join us, I mean, feel free to come up and sign up for the races. All those races are individually signed up, so it's going to be epically quite fun. Everyone needs to get out there, get a bit of fun, get a bit of excitement. We're doing something different. We want to get away from, get a break from this whole GT3, GT4 class racing. Again, with a new DLC out there, let's go test out new cars. We're calling it the LNR Season 2 One Make Series. Is kind of the go show, so hope to see everyone there after the Easter holidays. If we don't see you there, we'll see you next week on our GT4 races. Again, for those on stream that don't necessarily do PC racing, you are most welcome to join us on ACC console, where we do races on Wednesday night. So tonight you got me on the mic, tomorrow night we're back on console. Tomorrow night on console is the second race for the season, so do catch us live on our live stream. And then of course on Sunday nights this week is our final race on Gran Turismo Sport console series, for those that are keen to driving on GT Sport. Hopefully soon we'll kick off something very interesting for GT7, but that's yet to be determined. Yeah, that's enough of me blurping around about everything else that we do all over the show. Let's go back into the racing. Let's see if we can find some good racing between individuals. Here we go, Dupriya. Man, I haven't realistically spoken about. He's gone off my radar since his incident coming out of Ascari. And he's got a bit of a battle with him and Boycer, my favorite man in the McLaren. Big battles here for 15th spot. Heavy pressure for Dupriya. Question remains, can he withstand that? I mean, it seemed like he faltered a bit coming out of Ascari when he had that incident with the Ferrari. And again, that was just a happy tale. Ooh, not what he planned. All the way into the dirt gravel there. That's gonna dampen his speed. Thankfully, it didn't look like that McLaren was all on top of it. Look at it from this side. Oh. No. Not too sure what has happened there though. I kind of just went too quickly between the screens, but it really felt and sounded like that Bentley lifted off coming out of Ascari. I think getting that tail slapper out of Ascari would have unsettled him. And again, what corner in Monza doesn't unsettle you? I can think back of all the times that I've run at Monza, and if you have that one hiccup at any lap, on any lap in Monza, it just sets you off the whole race. It's just so difficult to come back from it and put the same lap times you did before. I reckon that's pretty much what has happened with this man. M3 supercharge. Okay, M3 supercharge, I love you. I absolutely love you. You are my man. So, Pluff. Is it Pluff or Pluff? Oh, I'm terrible with pronunciations. I'm probably ruining his name at this moment. I am literally ruining his name. I'm gonna go find his first name and remember what that is. That's what I'm going to do. Oh no, I'm not even gonna try and say that. Never mind. Okay. I'm calling him Car 102. So cliff. Okay, so cliff. Very hard. I wish everyone can understand how much I'm struggling at this stage. Again, I humbly apologize to those individuals that I ruined it for. You know how many times I've ruined people's names and surnames? It's tragic, absolutely tragic. I kind of blame that on my international travel exposure and so forth. And it's because you go into countries and then you live in a country whereby pronunciation is done in such a manner whereby you say what you read, which is so different and vastly different from a South African point of view, because most of the names and surnames we have in South Africa are very South African. Like, in all fairness, it's Dutch and beyond, and I'm assuming Cliff is very Dutch. It's very Afrikaans, and I'm probably ruining it the more I talk about it. But then again, I have to get back into that habit. I mean, Holzhausen is not a surname I'm commonly accustomed to. But things like where we talk about guys and drivers like Wasabi, I can easily get to that because that's probably easy for me to do than anything else. It's a struggle with Afrikaans and South African. No, I mean, no, it's not even a nation. It's just me struggling to get it right. That's as easy as it is. And the more I learn about commentating, the more I figure out that commentators actually start using car numbers and go by car number 13. It's like Voch. Voch. Okay, I'm actually getting very into tune here with this, the commentating and the chats on YouTube. Again, you guys are very entertaining, and I'm really, really loving it. But yes, I am so English that I can't even speak Afrikaans anymore, and that's sad. That is very sad. I've lost my Afrikaans heritage by far. My wife often looks at me, but that's another story. Let me not talk about it. Okay, back to the race. Let's get back onto it. Okay. Greening versus car 102, and I'm not going to say his name up until the point someone actually phones me and tells me how to do it. So these boys are battling it out at this stage, and again, the man has been on point though, so I've got to go and have a look here. So his last time, yeah, so car 102 at this present stage is a lot quicker than what Greening is. Looking at how he has progressed over the last couple of laps, and there's about a 1 second difference in between these two. So I reckon at some other point, 102 is definitely going to make a massive move on Greening. Will that impede on Greening's championship endings? I don't believe so. But again, having two PWSR boys finishing it, I would say side by side, is probably such a great ending for a race and a season. Again, big ups to 102 that actually are qualified. Patterson has been said on the chat and the stream. So he is doing phenomenal strides forward in the positive direction. So again, lots of learning to do, lots of racing. And the more you do it, the better you get. And this is just a prime example of that. Don't be as lazy as I am and just sit in the background and talk about racing. Just actually go out there and racing. Sim racing has evolved so much that it's so much fun to just do. Just go out and do it. Get it done. Don't know where to start, learn. It's just evolved. It's beautiful by nature. Anyone that has ever watched, I don't know, let's go Formula 1 race. I mean, if you've ever watched it or walked away and went like, that was fantastic, you're probably going to love this just as much. GT3 is a class of its own. Better racing than anywhere else. And again, it's not just us as a community that actually does GT3 racing. There's various other ones out there, and I always give a big shout out to everyone out there. I think if you ever want to find a community or ever looking out to find where you want to get some good racing, again, as you've noted, we are very approved by Grid Finder, so do go out, go to www.gridfinder.com and go check it out. There is plenty on the map there, from console to PC. You can choose a night, you can choose a league. There's iRacing, there's Assetto Corsa, there's Assetto Corsa Competizione, all of them out there. Big side-by-side racing here. Greening going heavily defensive. Can he go on the outside? Not this time. I think he's got to set it up as he did here. Looking good. That is a good exit there by the BMW. He has got the racing line for the next corner. So if he sticks it out there, this is his to win. Great run there. Couldn't do it down the final finish straight. On the second final lap, I guess. As he enters there in the corner, takes the position. Beautiful drive there by 102. He's been putting the work and efforts into it. In all fairness, he was very dominant in the qualifying session, so it's a better ending. No, it's not a better ending. It's a great ending for him, considering that he did make one mistake heading into a Ascari not so long ago. Put it in the kitty litter, lost a lot of time, and has since then had to work so hard to come back and do this finish. So big ups and big on him. And of course we've got Holzhausen over there. I've got to keep an eye on the race leader because he is on his final lap at this moment. So need to finish it off where it's finished strong. But again, from a racing point of view, I was so hoping for rain again. I was so hoping that we could have a bit of a mixed race. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out its way. I'm asking for those that always do servers and those that are good in setting up servers. Give me some advice. Send me a Discord PM for all I know, and then we can do it again. So, final few corners for the race leader, bringing it to the playing field. The question stands, is Berry's going to do another lap? It does look like it. He's staying ahead of the leader. This is your race winner for the championship at Eleanor, smashing it off. His second victory overall. Great run. Was that the final lap? No. Yes, he is done and dusted. It just looks like he wants to race more. Again, great race there. Drake 29 seconds behind him. Coming out of the final corner here. Big ups to him. This is a great ending for him. Did take the victory in the previous race. Second race here. Podium for him. Nail Bullion. Unexpected podium because I reckon there was a few guys ahead of him that would have potentially taken them. Again, car 102, whose surname I'm not going to mess up anymore, was one of those potentials. Holzhausen was there. Jacques Vermeulen was also there in 18th. But that is third place for Bullion. B. Holzhausen in fourth place. Again, my driver of the evening. I just pick one randomly just purely because of memory and recollection. But I reckon this is about the best finish this man has had in a while. Static, overwhelmingly happy for him. PWS are here by Alan Patterson in fifth, followed by his teammate in sixth, Greening in seventh. Skitty is almost there in eighth. Had a big accident in the beginning, but great finish for him. Then of course he's being chased down by Hardacre in ninth, and then Berry's the final man of the race, coming into the final corner in 10th place. Again, big race for him. Phenomenal drive from what has occurred. So I gotta put it out there. What a race. What a race. Again, also gotta put it out there. Thanks for everyone on the stream. that sat down and listened to my awful / English. I've lost my Afrikaans voice. It was an absolute pleasure commentating this evening for you guys, and then of course commentating for the remainder of the next season. Again, don't be shy. If anyone is keen and want to come and race with us, do hook us up. Most of our races on PC is hosted on simracing.gp. Feel free to sign up for our next season, which is going to happen at the mid-end of April, just after the Easter holidays. For those guys that have joined the stream and have subscribed and committed to being here and listening to us, thank you so much. Humbly appreciate it. Again, big thanks to our Patreon members out there, everyone that has raced here with us, everyone that has joined the race. We are not done yet with ACC and PC racing at LNR. So do spread the word out. Do invite your friends, family, everyone that you think wants to race with us. We'll catch you next time on the flip side. Do have a good evening, good night, God bless, and catch you later.